Hi all, and welcome to the Paul Chandler Show. I am your host, Paul Chandler. In tonight's episode, we're going to learn about transplants. Because transplanting an organ from one patient to the next isn't simple as, here's our one procedure code and that's it. It's broken down into 3 different steps, and we're going to be learning about those steps and how to properly code them. And in the transplanting, we're going to learn about kidneys. So you get a kidney, you get a kidney, you get a kidney, everybody gets kidneys! So stay tuned and we'll be right back, and I'll be showing you how to code transplants. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're going to enjoy our topic tonight on transplants. So in transplanting, that's when one body part, one organ, goes from one person to another. So tonight's discussion, we're going to be using the kidney as an example, because the kidney has a few other types of procedures, if you will, that are only done with that organ that cannot be done, for example, on the heart or dealing with the lungs. So no matter what organ is being transplanted, there's always 3 different parts as far as how it's broken down. Because it's not simply just one CPT code for, well, there's a transplant. So the different parts that are broken down are the donor, the backbench, and the recipient. So the donor section, as far as the codes, that is for the doctor taking the heart or the lungs, or as in the lobes, or the kidneys, whatever organ it is, out from the patient who is giving it away, the donor. So donors have their own codes. Then we have what's called backbench, or backbenching. Now, backbench is when usually another provider, while the donor doctor, let's say if it's OR1 is the donor, OR2 is the recipient, see if that's set up. But whatever the setup is though, the backbench provider, they're the ones who clean up the organs. So for example, if we're backbenching kidney, then the backbench doctor, to clean out the organ, then what they do is, nice little sterile room, reach under the sink, get a big old squirt bottle of bleach, and just squirt it away, maybe stick it in the dishwasher for a little bit. And depending how bad it is, maybe wash her a little bit with little Tide Pods. Yeah, no, that's not how you clean an organ. So what we actually mean by backbenching is when they use, not bleach for example, but they're cleaning out the bodily liquids of the donor before it goes into the recipient. So for example, dealing with the kidney, then the backbenching provider, they're the one that's taking any urine out of the kidney from the donor and any blood out of the veins or the arteries. Because organs do have blood vessels connected to them, that's how they actually live and start functioning. So backbenching, not using bleach, but backbenching is cleaning out the bodily fluids from the donor patient to the recipient. And then we have the separate recipient section where that provider is, depending on if it's already been done or not, they are doing the excision, they're removing the organ that's bad out of the recipient person and putting the new organ in. So we're going to look over the code as how it works for the kidney. Like I said, if you're able to grasp the concept as far as the transplanting on a kidney, you're able to get it on any organ. So first, we have, as far as the donor codes, we have 2 on the kidneys, because you can be a cadaver donor or a living donor. So what I'll be doing on the board is, so we have the donor position, donor, backbench, and recipient. So the donor, we have the codes 50300 and 50320. So only 2 codes for the donor, and we have 50300, donor nephrectomy from a cadaver donor, unilateral or bilateral. So if you've taken out 1 kidney or 2 from the donor, doesn't matter. So yes, it's a buy one, get one free deal. So you have the cadaver option, 50300 or 50320 from a living donor. Now notice though that if you look at the procedure code, 50320 does not state is it a unilateral or bilateral condition. Because I don't care how much you love somebody, how much you want to be nice to somebody, you have to keep one of your kidneys. So it's going to be only 1 kidney that you're donating for 50320. So we have the 2 different code options for the donor, and it does include the phrase cold preservation also. So that'd be, for example, that if the kidney has to go on ice, if you will, if it has to be in a cooler type transport, maybe it's not going from OR1 to OR2. could be going across town or even across state to the recipient person. So we have the two different codes for the donor, and then the backbenching. The backbench codes, they do have a range as far as the kidneys. So we have 50323 through 50329. 50323 and 50325 are what we call just the standard backbench, where depending on if it's a cadaver or a living donor, the doctor is just cleaning out the organ. There's no extra Humpty Dumpty putting back together again, if you will. No reconstruction that the doctor has to do. Just standard cleaning it up, and that's it. But because doctors never mess up, never ever ever, and yeah, they do sometimes, we do have reconstruction backbench codes. 503, 27, 28, and 29. So in this, for example, 50327, venous anesmatosis, 50328, arterial anesmatosis, and 50329, ureteral anesmatosis. That is when the term dealing with anesmatosis, whether it's a vein, artery, or ureter, the donor doctor who removed it, the organ, in this case the kidney, from the donor, did not take enough of a vein off, an artery off, or ureter off. So then the donor doctor has to go back, remove additional length of vein, artery, or ureter, and then the backbenching doctor reconnects, again, any one of the three, the vein, artery, or ureter, the additional length that we have, back to the kidney itself. So that's what we mean by the reconstruction. And then besides having the two codes for the donor doctor, and then the range of codes for the backbench doctor, then we have the reconstruction. So in dealing with the kidneys, so I'll put R here for reconstruction. The codes that we have as far as the range are 50340 through 50380. And these codes are just based off, are we only removing the kidney and that's it? Or are we removing the kidney and putting a new kidney in at the same time? Or is the kidney already been removed and we're putting a new kidney in? So we do have those different variations as far as the recipient codes, but we also have one of the codes that I really like a lot, the codes 50370 and 50380. These are more unique dealing with the kidneys. So we have 50370, removal of transplanted renal allograft. So with 50370, the kidney that's being removed from the recipient patient, that is one that they are not born with. They've already had transplanted and rejected, so they're taking it back out. Or then we have 50380, removal of auto transplantation. So the auto, A-U-T-O, that is from yourself. So it's renal auto transplantation, reimplantation of kidney. So with that one on the kidneys, you're self-donating. What I mean by that is, let's say we have a kidney and ureter on the right side, and a kidney and ureter on the left side. So with the 50380, what we're doing is, how you can self-donate is, the patient, let's say the right kidney goes bad, and for some unfortunate circumstances, maybe the left ureter is bad as well. So all of a sudden now you have a working kidney on one side, working ureter on the other side. So by self-donating, what they'll do is, they'll take out the bad kidney, they'll take out the bad ureter, but then the bad kidney is out, the good kidney's on the other side, so they'll remove the good kidney and switch it to the other side. So then now you have a functioning kidney that works, that you were born with, on the opposite side, but it's connected to a good ureter. So with auto transplantation, you can only do that with your kidneys. For example, you cannot auto transplant your heart. You just can't, for example, flip it around. So we have the left artery and ventricle, and then the right artery and ventricle. You just can't make left, right, left. You can't do that. Nor can you flip your lungs around, because we have 2 lobes on the left and 3 lobes on our right, and yeah, those won't work. You just switch them around. So the kidneys, though, are one organ that you can auto-transplant. You can self-donate. So again, no matter what part of the body that we're dealing with as far as the transplants, we'll always have the 3 different parts. The donor, the backbench, and the recipient. With the donor codes being the provider who takes the organ out from the person who's giving up that organ. The backbench, the doctor who's all cleaning it up, and the recipient, the one who's putting the organ, the one that we're getting from the donor, into the new patient there. So I do thank you for watching this education on transplants and with the 3 different parts that we have between the donor, backbench, and recipient, and have an awesome rest of your night. If you like this video and want to see more, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's so easy. It's right there. A little button. Just push it. Subscribe. I got all night. Nothing else to do. Just subscribe.